Hi, it's Crafty Tina's. Today's video is going to show you how to make this wood look notebook using your We Are Memory Keepers cinch. This is a wire-bound book and it is a project book. This project book is half page, so it is 8.5 by 5.5. It opens up to use both pages for your project. Now, I designed this myself, so this is going to be in my Facebook page for you to download. This is for your ideas, your drawings, supply list, and even the steps, and a done column, so you can check it off as you go. This book also includes a pen holder on the side using an eyelet and a piece of elastic. This book was made using wallpaper that looks like wood for the outside, and on the inside, regular cardstock. I added a few stickers, and then I just printed the page. My pages, when they're half pages, I fold them. So if you go and get this file, it's going to be a folded page. So let's see how we made it. I'm also going to show you how to do the measurements so that your outside covers can be larger than your pages, because you need a 1/2 inch on this side to hold your pen. And I left a small amount of space on top and bottom. It is actually a 1/4 inch together for both top and bottom. So if you've seen my other videos, you know I like making templates, so I did the same thing for this. I made a template for the 8.5 sheet, and I made a template for the 8 3/4 cover. So this is 8 3/4. But the sheets inside are 8.5. We're only worried about the side that the binding is on. We're not worried about how big the pages are to the right. This is just for binding. Let's go over the supplies we need. We're going to need our covers, both top and bottom, and I've already made them. I have a few videos showing how to make them, and there's going to be more. So for the sake of this video, I've already made these two. You're going to need to print out your pages. Now there's going to be a page 1 where there is a blank side on the left. There's going to be a page 2 that has print on both sides. And there's going to be a page 3 which has the blank side on the right. This is your first page and this is your last page. So you need to print as many page 2s as you want to be inside your book. And I did this so that the back would be blank and the front would be blank, because on the book I made already, I added stickers to this, and I'll probably go back and add something cute to the back. I didn't want half of a project to be in the back and half of a project to be on the front. So that's why there's going to be 3 pages to that PDF. So now that I have all my pages and I have folded them in half, I have allowed on the left-hand side a 1/2 inch for your holes. Now I've already punched all of them except a few because I wanted to show you how I did the measurements. Using my template for the 8.5 sheet with 14 holes, you're going to line up on your cinch. Your slider bar needs to come to 1.5. That is 1.5 lined up with the very first line on the top. And then we're going to face down, putting it inside all the way up and all the way to the left against our push bar here. All of them pushed in because we want all 12 holes. The notebook itself is 14. We want all 12 of these. Once I've punched the 12, I now need to add 2 more holes. Using the next to the last hole, I line that up with the button on the side. My next to the last hole is in that button. This hole goes in the button and I press down. Make sure it's in there and all the way down. Then you need to assure that the paper's pushed to the back. And then the most important thing is you pull out 3 and 4 and punch. Raise the button, and now I have the same amount of space, top and bottom, on each end. Let's see. And now they match up. The next thing we want to do is we want to punch our covers. Now our covers are bigger than our pages, so we need to account for that. We lined it up with 1 1/2 to do our sheets. We need to line it up 1 5/8 to do our cover. Because our cover is exactly a 1/4 inch larger than our sheets, we need to make sure that our slide bar is adjusted for that. We need to go to 1 5/8. And 1 5/8 is slightly larger than 1 1/2. These markings are 1/16. So 1 1/8 is every 2, which is slightly bigger than the tiny markings. So you can go count each little line until you get to 10/16, or you can count every other line until you get to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is 2 lines above the 1 1/2 mark. And that is where we want to punch our covers. Now, if you have one-way wallpaper or you have a specific way you want your book to look, you need to do that now. I want this to be my cover and this to be my back. Front, back. I'd like this to be next to the wire. Don't know why, I just think it would be cool. So I want to hold the back and the front exactly like I want my book to look. Making sure they are even, placing them face down, pushing in all buttons, because remember we pulled out 3 and 4. I want to punch my covers. And it's very important that your covers match exactly, or as close to exactly as you can get. And then I punch. Going through 2 pieces of chipboard and that vinyl, you really have to push. I'm going to open up my slider bar. I'm going to put the next to the last one in that same tab on the side, and I'm going to be sure to pull out 3 and 4 because I don't want the holes to go past 14. We already punched 12, we need 2 more. And punch. And there is my cover with equal amounts of space on top and the bottom. We need 14 wires, so we count our doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Gonna count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We are going to cut the wire on this straight piece holding 14 and 15. So now I have 14 double loops to make my book. We hang these on the side. We're going to add our pages first. Make sure your book is upright. Make sure you have the first page and the last page in the correct place. And add it to your spirals. I'm sorry, these are not spirals. These are double wire loops. The next thing we want is our cover. So we set the backing to the side and we're going to put our cover on here. This is to ensure that our seam is on the inside of our book. We don't want our seam to be on top. We want our seam to be all the way in the back, hidden from view. Let's see. Now before we add this, we're going to go ahead and put our elastic. Normally it would not matter, but I want you guys to, I want to be able to show you carefully what I'm doing. So we're going to do that first. At this point, it doesn't matter where you put the hole. I wanted mine slightly above half. My pen is small enough, it doesn't matter. And the pen's movable. You can adjust it how you want. So we are just simply going to take our cardstock, our chipboard that has the wallpaper on it, and we're going to use our crocodile, and we're going to use the largest hole, and we're going to punch close to the edge, but not all the way. We want to be able to put our pages in here and give the pen plenty of room. Now for this, we're going to use 1/4 inch elastic, and I'm considering buying black because I have so much white. Black elastic would really look good on this. You're going to put it in the hole, put one end in first, and then you're going to put the other end in the same hole. And now I have a loop on the inside cover. I'm also going to show you how to cover your pen, but we're going to use the pen as a guide, so make sure you know which pen you want to use, or just a standard pen. Pull the elastic. You don't want to pull it so that it's stretched, but you also don't want it to be gapped. You want that pen to be snug, but easy to get in and out. Once I know where my pen is going to be, I simply just gently pull it out. I separate my elastic. We are using a crocodile eyelet, and I will try to find the link for this and put it on my put the Amazon link in my description. We're going to put this eyelet in that piece of elastic. We're going to find the hole and we're going to push it through. And I know you guys cannot see what I'm doing. I'm not even looking, I'm just feeling and pushing it through. We're going to flip this over so you can see, and there you can see my eyelet has come through so that I can crimp it down so that it's permanent. Using your crocodile, then you take your extra piece of wire off. Don't know how that happened. Things get crazy in the craft room. You use the knob on the smooth side. You simply put that knob in there. It's very hard for the camera to see. Once it is in that hole, you clamp down. And for this one, I did it pretty hard because I'm having to work around the elastic. And now I have an elastic loop, and I shifted my elastic a little bit to the side. It's not going to matter. It just simply needs to hold your pen. And see, the pen is very secure. Now on the back side, you have your extra elastic. You're going to snip them off. And because I used white elastic, I didn't like the way that white looks. I took a black marker, any kind of permanent marker, and I just colored the white. And now it's not even hardly noticeable. And that is all it took to get that pen on your chipboard. Simply slide your pen out because you don't want it to interfere with what's going on next. Make sure you dry that marker. I have a habit of not doing that. I believe you could color the whole piece of elastic with a marker and it not run, but I haven't tested that theory yet. Now back to our sandwich. We have our pages in the order we want. We have our cover sheet. This is the one I wanted to be on top. And now we have the back. And the back needs to go inside up. So make sure the two matching front and back face each other. In this case, I'm just making sure my piece of elastic is up, if that's what you need to help you remember. Now everything is in my binding. I'm turning my machine around. This wire is 9/16. Using my little guide, this is 9/16. And I'm using that size because it seemed to fit my pages very well. I did 25 page 2s, that means 25 inside, and then 1 page 3 and 1 page 1. What I like about using 14 wires is I only have to clamp down once. I seem to make more mistakes when I have to clamp down multiple times. Remember my other videos, this has to be flush to the back. All of those openings go right to the back, flush. And I use my book and push them all the way to the back. And 14 wires will fit within your boundaries. So you can use your hand to make sure you get them all in there. I've set this 1 click above the half mark because there's no 9/16 here. 9/16 is slightly larger than 1/2, so I've put it 1 click above the half. By pushing this in, I then cinch. And now I have perfectly round binding. I also have my seam, which is all this metal going straight down, inside my book. And there we have it. So now let's talk about the pen. We'll make sure the pen fits and my book closes. Look how pretty that is. So now let's talk about how easy it is for the pen. I will also put this in the directions. The notes section of this video is going to have links to all the supplies I've used, and my Facebook page is going to have the PDFs of the actual pages. Give me a couple days to upload those. So we're using the RSVP ballpoint pens. They are clear barrel pens. They do have silver writing on them, and you can remove that if you use a tiny amount of nail polish remover. Very, very small amount. Nail polish remover will melt plastic, so you want to barely rub that off. It doesn't bother me being on there, but it would be awfully nice not to have it. Now all you're going to need is a skinny disposable straw. These are actually the little bendy types, but the skinny ones, not the fat ones for your smoothies. These are the old-fashioned, just regular straws. And then a small piece of your vinyl. This is what's going to show through on your pen. So we want to take our pen apart. Just simply unscrews. We want to put our straw inside all the way. You don't have to make it go too far, just until it gets into the black. You don't have to go all the way. And we're going to snip it off. Then we're going to bring it back out. Because this was on a roll, it wants to curl in its own way, and I want it to curl this way. So I'm just going to force it to curl like that for 1 second. We're going to pull off the backing. And now we simply want to place our straw on the vinyl, let it get a good start, and roll the straw on the vinyl, wrapping the vinyl around the straw. And this is pretty thick vinyl. If you have thinner vinyl, it rolls right up, but because this is thicker, it's wanting to not cooperate, but success. And now we have a straw covered in the vinyl. We want to put this back in our pen. And if you want, because it is going to be a little longer than you need it, you can snip that edge off so you don't see any white. And you're going to push it down firm and then cut. Resting against the plastic, cut. And now put your pen back together. Super easy way to get matching pens for your notebooks. These are not pricey and they go on sale a lot. You can get them in different colors and you can get fine or medium. So now we have our matching pen to go in our project book. Now there's going to be 2 files for the projects. We're going to have project A and we're going to have project B. They are the same size. They are just a different format and layout. I wanted my project book to be like this. This is how I wanted it because this is how I get my projects going and get together. We're talking about house projects, gardening projects, craft projects. It could really be used for any project. But my sister-in-law, who also does projects, I asked for her input and she gave me a different type of format, how she would like it to look. So I'm going to upload both of these files so that you can have both of them. This will be project A and this will be project B. So make sure you jump over to my Facebook and get those files. And that is all. We now have a very industrial looking, manly looking notebook with a pen that match. And we are ready to start our projects. If we can get out of the craft room long enough, maybe we could get them done. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe so that you'll know when we make the next video. There's going to be more unique and different types of notebooks coming soon. Make sure you subscribe so that you know when I upload my next video. If you have comments or you need help making this or other notebooks, please leave your comment below and I will try to help everyone who leaves a comment. Thanks, and as always, happy crafting.